Now, good morning. We have some background music. The neighbors are playing some Indian music. And of course, nature is a lot louder here than it is anywhere else that I've ever lived anyway. So we have now a gardening system that I wanted to show you, which is how to make a bed that saves water. And I'm just going to call it the trench bed water saving system gardening bed. I don't know what to call it. But that's what I came up with. It seems to work and I'm pretty happy with it. So let's take a look. Okay, two things. I wanted to show you just quickly the bed before we get started over there. That's going to be my example bed. I'm going to take off all the weeds and do the same thing here. What I did about 10 days, this is only 10 days ago I sown all these. Imagine, 10 days ago. It's unbelievable. But there is a challenge in growing in the tropics, and that is they had kind of sweet corn in there, but it only grew about 30-40 centimeters high. So the soil is just sand, basically. You will see now in a second. So we're going to have to try to redo the whole structure. We're going to have to add different things just to make it work properly. Here I've actually put a mulch down and it's starting to grow, which is brilliant. I don't mind the weeds here. They're holding the sand back. So that's going to be the challenge, but I wanted to show you, this is the three sisters I'm doing here. I wanted to show you this fella here, look. We have an actual sweet corn that is, what do you call them, albino sweet corn. And I'm going to pull him out because he's not going to do anything. He's not going to be able to photosynthesize. So if you ever have any albino sweet corn in your varieties, just pull them out, or albinos in general. Pull them out, they're just going to do nothing. Look at that sand. So this is basically I'm here on the backwaters and the sea is right next to us over there, and so it's going to be a very, very salty area. So this is why we have raised beds. Normally you don't actually have to have raised beds, but we just want to get out of that salty groundwater level as well. Now we'll take a look at the composting material that I have available at the moment. Now all I could get is a kind of a type of mulch material, so it's not very broken down, but it smells very good. So I'm going to use that first. Now this is the composting material that I'm going to be using. It's half kind of, not even decomposed down compost, but it's actually just there for two things. One is for moisture holding capacity, and the other thing is it will break down in time and give nutrients, especially when the plants are bigger. I've also added some of this wormy compost to the mix, and that's just so if some of the roots already go down there, that they have some nutrients to take up right away as well. Now the next step is going to be filling it up with this compost, and now I'm just going to add some of this sandy soil on top, and I'm not going to mix up the sand with the compost. It's just going to be a layer on top. So I have a bit of a trench going on here. And the next thing, I'm going to put a few handfuls of the good compost on top of here and just get that. Now ideally if I had more, then I would of course use more, but I just put it right in the middle of the trench, and that's exactly where the water, I'm going to create a V now in a minute, and that's exactly where the water is all going to flow towards. So exactly where the plants are going to be. Now of course there's a reason why we want to slope, because this area then becomes the watering point for, so the quantity of water, the rainfall of this area will be all in this one space. But also we want to kind of a slope because sand tends to kind of wash away much faster if the slope is very steep. So if it's gradual, it's less likely to wash away. So as you can see, it's a bit of effort, more effort than you would be used to, but because it's very sandy soil, it goes pretty quick. Yeah, that's it. So as you can appreciate, I'm trying to grow sweet corn here with just a bit of compost and mostly sand. And I'm going to use a lot of kind of liquid fertilizers as well, like compost teas and maybe even cow urine and things like that. Because otherwise I don't think these guys are going to make it. But they look very good over there, so touch wood, hopefully things will work out. Now, some of you remember I actually grew some of this Moich variety in Switzerland with the 3+ sisters. This is what I'm doing here now, of course. And so I'm going to try this Moich variety and see if it actually works here in India as well. I'll just put in a few more of these tiles just to stop that embankment from kind of caving in. And anyway, as soon as the plants grow a bit bigger, they're going to stop all that rain, because the trouble here is we have a monsoon rain, and the monsoon rain lasts for about 2 months, and it really pours down like crazy. So we want to try and get these plants established at least that big before the monsoon hits. Okay, so the last step is, of course, we need to put on a bit of mulch on the embankments as well. And often you'll have little seedlings, just wild kind of plants will grow here, and they will also hold this little embankment as well. So the monsoon isn't due for another month, so I hope everything will grow really strongly, so it'll hold, the roots will actually hold all this sand together. Now, one last thing I actually forgot to mention, just while we're at it, is to put a bit of mulch as well, just around the actual seedlings as well. That just prevents evaporation, but also will feed the plants in about a month's time when things are actually decomposing down a bit. Like that. And that's it. All I have to do now is water the tiles, and my plants get all the water and nutrients they need. So that concludes this video. Thanks for watching. It's a hot day. Oh.